the shank button. Take 2 small stitches in the placement of the button to secure the thread, using a double strand of thread knotted at one end. Take the button, sew through and through the holes on the button, then pass the needle back to the wrong side of the garment through the center of the placement for the button. Pull the thread and then place a toothpick into the loop formed. The thread is taut around the toothpick, but not so taut that it's causing a pucker in the fabric. From this point on, you will pass the thread through the fabric, keeping the stitches nice and neat on the reverse side, going around the toothpick to form the thread shank for the button. Depending on the thickness of the fabric and the size of the button, you may be passing the thread through the button anywhere from 2 to 4 times. Be patient. It is a little bit difficult sometimes to get that needle exactly through the holes on the button. After you have finished sewing the loops for the shank, you will need to pass the needle in between the fabric and the button in order to wrap the thread around the shank. Remove the toothpick. Now you can see where the thread loops are to form the shank. Tightly wrap that thread around the shank about 6 to 7 times. The last one will be wrapped to form a loop in which you will make the knot for the button. Wrap the needle through that loop once, twice, pull the knot down to sit nice and tight against the fabric. And you can see the shank formed by wrapping it, the loops with the thread. Insert the needle at the base of the shank, making sure the needle passes in between the 2 layers of fabric. Check this before you cut the threads. You can see the needle showing. Just take it out, start over again. It's important that the thread tails are hidden nicely between the 2 layers of fabric. Then just simply trim the threads flush with the fabric, and you have a shank button.